Hello, my name is Duyen. Today I will teach you to do assignment query 2 for HAP 671 Healthcare Databases, taught by Professor Hafeez. After this lesson, we will know how to set up backup databases in Azure Data Studio for Mac users, query demographic info, gain patient encounters insights, generate diagnosis statistics, and create a cohesive report. Before we begin, the Query 2 assignment requires to restore a backup database. For Mac users, you need to follow 4 steps. First, run the docker ps command in your terminal to get the number circled in yellow. Then run the docker cp command as shown in step 1 to copy the backup database from desktop to the link where the doctor has access to. Then in your Azure window, right-click Databases and choose Restore Database. Third, ensure the backup file path leads to the backup database. Fourth, after clicking Restore, you will see the new database as shown in step 4. Once you're done with that, we want to see all available information about our patients. So by executing select star from table patient, we retrieve every information stored in that table. Next, let's focus on extracting just the first name, last name, and date of birth for each patient. This is done by running select first name, last name, date of birth from table patient. In query 3, we show the encounter ID and only the first diagnosis code of every encounter. So we select the encounter ID and min DX code as first diagnosis code from table encounter DX, grouped by encounter ID. Note that in this database, encounter ID is also the patient ID. In this slide, I also showed another option. Of course, there are always different ways to query. Next, we want to see which states have patients from a city named Dover. Then use select patient ID, first name, city, ST from table patient, where city equal Dover. Don't forget to put Dover in between a single quote. Another option, which I find more complex but is also good to know, is to join table patient and look up state, which has the information of full state name in state description variable. In query 5, we want to see information of patients who stayed in the hospitals for at least 5 days and were discharged by a code of 20. For this question, we join the patient and encounter tables using patient ID as the key to join. We use condition of length of stays or LOS equal or greater than 5 and this bit equal 20. In this slide, I did not show how I found which variables belong to which tables, but in practice, you need to look at the columns of each table available in your databases. In query 6, we will look at patients from California, showing their first name, last name, and date of birth. The focus here is to order by last name and birth in reverse chronological order. To do that, we need to join table patient and look up state on state information, order by last name, date of birth. Don't forget to use DESC, shortened for descending order, after DOB to short as required. Now for query 7, we want to see who stayed in the hospital between 1 to 3 months. This information is available in table encounter, so we only have to select all variables in this table using S to rename the columns in a way that is easier to read. Remember to use the condition where LOS between 30 and 90 because length of stay is stored in days, not months. We can use order by to sort patients by LOS, but this is optional. Next, for query 8, we want to identify primary diagnosis for emergency visits that occurred after March 25th of 2009. Admission date and admission source description are available in tables encountered and lookup admit source, so we need to join them using a source ID as the key. We must also identify the condition where admission source description is equal to emergency department and admission date is greater than 2009-03-25. Be careful when writing the date format. Query 9 requires to show the combined total count, the average, minimum, and maximum length of stay for these visits. Emphasize on these visits. So first, we need to redo question 8 and add into a temporary table question 8. After that, we simply select count stars as total encounters, average LOS as average length of stay, min and max of LOS as minimum and maximum length of stay from temporary question 8, table question 8. Finally, query 10 is the most difficult one. Here we need to combine answers from queries 6 to 9, plus we must had an encounter where it has a V or an E code was used. So we join three tables: patient labeled as A, encounter labeled as B, and encounter DX labeled as C. Tables A and B are joined on patient ID. Table B and C are joined on encounter ID. After that, we identify the three conditions. First, state equal California. State is available in table patient, so we use a.st equals CA. Second, the X code must has a V or an E in it, so we use the X code like percentage %V, percentage, or like percentage %E, percentage. Third, length of stay is between 30 and 90. Finally, we use order by DX code and DOB DSC. Remember, when you join tables, always refer to each variable with the table consisting that variable by using table label dot variable. So to recap, we have covered essentials SQL queries for the assignment. I hope you have gained the skills to set up databases, understand queries, joins, and data manipulation in SQL. Your next step is to practice these queries, explore variations, and ensure result accuracy. I hope this presentation has been helpful. Thank you.